It's amazing. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Moira.
There we go.
Hey,
Look who's
Lisa.
joined us. Hello. Welcome. Hello. Just look at this amazing, amazing energy on set here today. We have got 8 very, very powerful women who have featured on the previous Magenta shows, who have returned to come and share with you, my darlings out there, to first of all say thank you for supporting our shows and our episodes, right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And they've come to give feedback on what happened since they were on the show. So I'm going to do a little bevy round of introduction, and I'm going to ask everyone to introduce themselves and say hello. And Michael, which camera are we going with first? If we can have that camera there. So we're going to start with you, Nelia. So you say hello.
Hi, I'm Nelia Philippe.
You were season
5, that's right.
Yeah.
And I had an amazing breakthrough, and I can't wait to share with everyone all about it.
Hi everyone, I'm Helena Ferreira, and I was in season 5, and I am super excited to share my outcome and my experience. So looking forward to it.
Cool.
Hello, I'm Amy Barroso, and also with these lovely ladies, I've had like some pretty crazy stuff happen. So this is going to be a fun, I don't know, maybe we'll go a bit longer than we usually do, but it's going to be a fun show for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm Lori Appleby, and I'm so happy to be back. I really loved the cover mirrors. I love Moira, and I'm really excited to be here with all these powerful women.
Excellent. Right, next camera. Here we go.
I'm Sarah J. Palumbo, part of the Harmonious Gypsies. Oh, I'm sorry. Also known as the Harmonious Gypsies, and magic's happened for me. I can't wait to share.
Excellent.
And I'm Lynn Milne, and we're Harmonious Gypsies. And it has been a really wonderful experience, Moira. Thank you very much for introducing us to the colors. Wow.
Excellent.
I'm Maria Angelova. Last year I was in the same jacket on the show with the same profile. And I had amazing experience. It's magical. Thank you, Moira, for inviting me.
Good. You're going to be telling the audience all about it.
Yes, I'm.
And I'm Tara Garrity Ellis, and I've had some really, really good experiences since the show, some quantum leaps, and I cannot wait to share.
Excellent. Wow. Excellent, guys. And we just want to also say that we have a birthday girl in the house. Amy! We're not going to say how old. We're just going to say she's graciously today saying
I'm
that
timeless.
Timeless.
This is what that's how I'm moving forward. It's just
I thought she was going to say she's 29. So happy birthday, darling Amy.
Thank you.
And wonderful for you to take time off to come and be with us today. We really appreciate
thank you.
that.
We had a little celebration before that you may have seen, and I have a beautiful cake waiting upstairs, and thank you everyone for singing me happy birthday.
There we go. We get some champagne too. Yeah,
Oh.
let's definitely have a look. Michael, we definitely got to go in the cupboard and look for champagne.
You're on a cleanse. No.
Oh, I'm on a cleanse.
Thank you, Amy.
So, my darlings watching, please, you're welcome to wish Amy happy birthday today, and you're welcome to post your questions. And as this powerhouse of 8 incredible women are going to be sharing their stories and updating you as to what's happening in their businesses, they are also going to answer any questions that you have for them. And generally what we want to talk about today is women in business and how we are at this forefront of bringing personal development and spirituality into businesses, and that it's a growing movement. And so if you use a spiritual modality, a therapy, a mentor, a coach, anything that you use to help your business grow, you're so welcome to share it with us live here, and pop it in the comments box so that we can see you. We have just underneath the camera that we're watching you right now, there is a big TV screen, and we can actually see your comments pop up. Can we see it, girls, without our glasses?
Yes.
Michael's made it big enough. So let's just say hello to a couple of people that's joined us. Marnie Sigma's joined us. Shannon, our producer, fabulous. Sherry Brose has joined us. Welcome. We've got Tim Abbott, and then Joanne. Champagne doesn't count when you're something or other.
When you're
on
When you're on a plane.
I love Joanne. And look at that, Lisa Taylor.
Hey, Lisa.
Rosie Bradbury's. Oh my goodness. Hello, Rosie. And Aurelia from Denmark, Lynn Hope, Julie Grant, Sarah MP. Oh my goodness, just look at these amazing people.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Friends and family of the show. We really do appreciate you joining. All right. So we're actually going to kick it off. We've got a couple of bottles here because some of you actually after the show you bathed in a bottle and things happen. So let's just kick off with one or two stories and then we're going to talk about our general spirituality and business and we'll intersperse like that. How does that feel? No script today. We're just winging it. Okay. So maybe can we start with Nelia and with Helena because you came on the show and you came on as the financial divas. You were determined to change women's perspective of their finances and financial planning. And I remember the two of you sitting down. Nelia, you actually sat in the corner and your hair was kind of, covering your face and there was a little bit of a hiding quality. Like I wasn't quite going to show myself. You didn't know I was going to do this, eh? I was gonna
It's okay, I'm accepting. Take full responsibility.
But there was certainly a little bit of I'm not quite going to show the world who I am yet. And you actually went home and bathed in the black bottle. And that was very powerful. That's that. Do you want to just hold it up?
Sure, I'll hold
the
it up.
G8 bottle. Those are the two you bathed in.
This is the two, yeah.
What happened?
So, so I put in this one first.
Yeah.
I was very careful with this one. I don't know why, but I was, I had set intentions before on what 3 things I wanted as an outcome. So I set those intentions. I really did this slowly because Moira said, 3 times, 3 in 3 weeks. And then, so I just used, and then I went to go do with this one and I totally forgot and I almost dumped the whole thing right in. And I was like, oh no, I'm supposed to save some of this. This is supposed to be like, for a little bit later. And I just sat in there and I felt really at peace. I said to myself, I want to change. I want to change who I am. I want to become a different person, a better version of myself. Right? And I really just sat in there and just had peace. And everything kind of melted away, and I decided that this is going forward. I'm going to be the best version of myself because our time is limited, and I'm going to be the best person that I can be. So that's, and I have like amazing skin from it. So anyone else, I just feel glowing. I feel excited, and I'm like ready to take on any project. And I felt daunting before. I felt like negative, even though I always felt that I wasn't a negative person, but I did feel that negativity kind of control me, and I felt like not energetic, and now my mind is clear. Like I want something, I go for it. Where before I was like so cluttered with everything else. Like we're all busy, right? I have a son as well. You have a family. I live with my parents, so it's I have a big dynamic. I have a lot on my plate, but I just focus on one thing now. So and it's you can't get a million things done at one time. Just focus and really working on my time management.
Well, actually, you're the only guest on the show that's actually bathed in that black bottle.
Really?
Yeah. just hold it up again. It's deep. It's actually very deep.
No, you had a black one. That's my favorite color.
And it was so funny. It was like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was literally, when I say I almost dumped the whole thing, I was like, oh no, I have to save some of this. But obviously I needed it, right? I needed to put as much, where I was very careful. It was really weird.
Wow.
I was really careful with this one, and I'm like, okay, and then there was this one, I was like, oh my goodness, no.
And what's really amazing is that, and we're talking about this G8 first, because that's what the number is these 8 women here with me on the set today. So there's something about 8, and 8 is the number of abundance, and it's infinite, it's the infinity symbol. So something, when you bathe in an 8 bottle, and specifically the black, that's called illumination, it just starts getting things to flow with flow,
Well, and that's what what I feel like before, when someone used to say, oh, I want to make, everyone wants to make $1 million.
Yeah.
But, and I'd say it, and I'd say it to myself every day, and I'm like, yeah, but I believe it. If you don't believe that you can do it, then you won't do it. But I believe that, we will be, earning $1 million plus and making those causes and helping out people that we really need to help, because there's so many people that we can help, and you can't do it without money.
Yeah, you've got to do it with a financial foundation.
You have to have a financial goal in your life, and when you have a goal and you're actually executing, is just then saying all the time, oh yeah, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I really feel like, I'm going to do what I say that I'm going to do.
Well, I'm hoping that black inspires you today, because it's clearly illuminated something. Your energy is so much brighter, Nelia. Your hair's back, you up. I mean, your whole demeanor and everything since the show it's just phenomenal. So, if you go back onto my timeline and you go look under photos and then videos, and you find the episode that featured Nelia with the Financial Divas with Helena, you're going to see it's night and day, literally this black and white. It's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Helena, so you want to hold your bottles up and give us your story?
Yeah, this was mine too.
Yeah, she also picked the black bottle. That's the one they had in common on the show.
Yeah. So these were the ones that I actually made in this one. And this one I used just on my throat because I came with I wanted to overcome the fear of public speaking and the fear of doing this right here. And
social media shows.
Yes, I felt like I didn't have a voice. And it was so deep inside me that I wanted to find that voice. And then I realized my power is my voice. And then coming through on the show, and this was amazing. Like after the bath, I did use a few times, and I felt brand new. I felt as if like something left. And I was like, I could see clear. I saw things the way it was. And some of the voices that was in my head were gone, thank God. Sometimes we're family members, like the whole family is in there talking. Already, right? Is that what they call it? Like, who are you? I don't even know you. Like, where are you in my head? And then it just clear. And then this was actually so magical to me.
That's the
one
C5
especially.
Communication bottle, by the way, just for those who don't know. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So before right after the show, I had a few events that I had to go, and I had to do my thing and speak, and the whole like nervousness and feeling of fear and all of it was gone.
Wow.
And I actually literally remember like as if time stopped while I was in that event, and I'm like, I actually don't feel any feelings. And I'm like, I'm not even fearful. I'm like, this is so strange. But I'm like, I'm loving it, right? And since then, I have been living in flow with my purpose. And in
so
my
now
brain,
if somebody asks you to speak, there isn't jitters or worries. You just
Nothing.
turn up and have you got more speaking gigs, Helena?
yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. So if you want Helena and Nelia to come and talk to you about finances, the Financial Divas, you've got to contact them. Because it makes such a difference when you can, what it's like when we talk about who we are and what we do. It can be nerve-wracking, and to remove that fear, it's fundamental in you actually having clear communication with the audience and getting them to engage with your message.
Yeah, what I really realized, it's not about me. It's actually about other people.
Yes.
And when I realized that, it was like, actually I'm not fearful, because I do have the knowledge. I do have what I need to say, and it's like to help somebody else, because we all go through challenges and we all go through things in life. The reason is because we need to help each other. And when I realized that it's bigger than me, it's beyond me, and it's not for me or because of me, it's for other people.
People need to hear what you have to say.
Yes, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm free.
That's great, because it feels like then the spotlight is taken off you, and the spotlight is then actually on the audience, and then your heart can open and you can see them for who they are and what their needs are, and give them the message they need.
Yes. What they need.
Yeah, and that's exactly what these
Yeah.
Color Mirrors bottles do.
They're amazing.
The Color Mirrors bottles are made by Melissa Jolly in South Africa. And I've been working with the system since 2003. I did my first workshop with Melissa, and we've helped to establish, and we've worked together to establish centers of distribution and training all over the world. And I was very fortunate to meet a Canadian, and 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years now, I came to Canada, and the colors came with me. And I thought, well, how could I let people know that these magical things have happened in the 15 years that I've been in the business? How can I let people know that exactly what Nelia and Helena have just said, actually, it really does work? For example, I recently joined a women's networking group, and everybody there's completely skeptical of what I do. And I literally, it's like if I start talking about it, they just glaze over and they go, oh, what's this? Just tell me how to make more money, how to make more sales, how to, stand out in the crowd. They have the usual business strategies that they want to learn about, but there's this change. There's this fundamental change in business that's happening with men and women. And I've spoken to a lot of men who've been on the show here with me, and where this need to get rid of these fears that almost cripple us, that we cannot do the performance or deliver the message the way we want to in our businesses and in our projects, that we would just want to get rid of them. And we don't want to be having to pay a therapist for a year to go and talk about our childhood. We really just want to get it out of the way quickly. And this is why I bought and use color mirrors in Canada, because it's this one bath. It's one bath, one bottle that you rub on your body and boof, it's gone. It just
really
works.
is.
It's like magic. It really
And
just
it's
does
easy
that.
to be skeptical. Like, I didn't try it right away. Like, Kalina tried it right away.
I'm like,
She's
I'm doing this.
she's like doing her, and I'm like, I'm not gonna try this thing right away. Like this, and I fiddled with the bottles and felt them, and put them on my chakras and all that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna try this. I'm not gonna try this. This isn't gonna work. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just doing it. Let's see what happens. And then I was like, oh my god, why did I wait so long? Really?
Why do you think that happens?
I
Why,
think
why,
maybe-
why do people take
I
so
think,
long to open up?
Honestly,
to
it's because we are afraid of really seeing who we can be. Our biggest critic is ourselves, and until we change our mindset, until we think we can, we will not do it. Because we can only do one thing. We either can or we can't.
Yeah.
And it's easier to do we can't, because then someone's going to say, oh, you're different. You look different. People tell me, oh, you look different. You feel different. Well, it's great. Like, what's wrong with that? I want everyone to be different. I want everyone to be at their full capacity and be wonderful. So what is so afraid? Why are we so afraid?
Do you know what I think it is? It's masks.
Yes.
It's those masks. We
Yes.
we have a mask when we're in. And I know Maria is an actress, so we got to be careful how we go with the mask here, because when actors we have to put on masks. But in business, the more authentically present you are with who you are, and not putting on a mask that says, well, I've got to perform like this because my dad's watching me, or my mom's watching me, or my mentor is keeping an eye on me, and I need to make sure I follow all the steps they've taught me. If we can just be ourselves, and that's what color does, is it brings out something authentically within you, and it strengthens you, that you shine, your vibration changes, and you earn more money. I mean, that's a fact. We're going to hear about some of the people giving us feedback, our guests here today, about how it changed things financially as well.
I just want to say, I'm actually really proud of Nelia for she has come a long way, and you're right, she is glowing and shining.
I know, I hardly recognized her when she came in the door of the studio today. It was just like,
I know. I was like, Laura's looking at me weird. Why is she looking at me weird? I was thinking that whole. I'm like, why is she looking at me weird?
I was hoping that I was just waiting for her to show up, and then she has shown up. So exciting.
Well done, girls. Well done. And thanks for sharing that with us. We're hoping that's inspired our guests out there. If you've got any questions, and we want to know from you, what do you use to up your game? What do you use to up your frequency? What do you do? What modalities and teachings and learnings and books and inspirational people do you seek out so that you can turn up more authentically and more successfully in your business? So Miss Amy.
Mandana is over
Yeah.
Hi, Madonna.
Oh, Mandana, hello. We all love Mandana. Yeah, we all love her. All right.
It's true what Shannon says, though. It's easier to stay in our comfort zone.
Yeah.
It really is easier to stay sometimes behind the mask.
Yes. Yeah. But the thing is, bathing in this bottle wasn't difficult. Your body can't resist, your mind can't resist. You pour it in a bath, you sit in it, and the pattern will leave your body. It's
true.
The frequency takes it out. So it's not difficult to get out of your comfort zone. It's that it's making up your mind that you want something better. But what I get irritated about, I'm going to be very honest, when I go to these seminars and then people go, oh, I really want to earn more money. I want to earn $1 million. I want to be successful. I want 10,000 people in the audience with me. And my first question is, why? Why do you want that? So you've got to be very, very clear the levels of success you want, and then you've got to go, okay, I actually need to make it happen. I have to action something to make it happen. You can't just sit there looking at everybody who's success on the stage and go, I want to be like them, but you don't actually do what they're teaching you, or you got to do it. I mean, I went to that I went to Raymond Aaron's book
Right.
event, and it was the WOW event, right? And he said there, if you want people to know that you're an expert in your field, you need to write a book. And I'm going, well, people in Canada don't know I'm an expert in my field with colour, so I'll write a book. I had to actually write the book. You can't just go, hey, I want people to know who we are.
Yeah.
When Sarah De Felice started the whole, me with the Magenta show and doing this, she said, turn up on camera and tell people who you are and what you do and interview them and build relationships. And I said, yes, I turn up and I'm doing it. And look! Amazing. I mean, yeah, you've got to do the work. And but the personal development work you've also got to say yes to. If you pretend that you're okay, you're not. You know, you go to network meetings and you speak to women. And it's a lot of women that I go to, whose events I go to, and up front they'll tell you about, I do this thing and I'm successful and I have this business and I've got these clients and I've been doing it for 10 years. And then later on, as the masks come down and they start relaxing, you hear about how unhappy they are in their marriages, how unhappy they are with the way they look, how unhappy they are that they're not making the kind of money they really want, or they might now be questioning their purpose in life. And where are the speakers, where are the teachers and leaders who can go to these events and actually address those issues for these business women? And it's shifting, it's changing, because I think our time has come, girls. I think our time has come. What do you think, Amy?
I think you are correct. I think that I've always felt that there needs to be some kind of spirituality in business, and I think since from a young age I was kind of like a bit wonky with that, and people are like, oh, she's pulling an Oprah, or she's, trying to bring her woo-woo stuff into the office. And even before Color Mirrors, I like bringing people together. So the best way to do that is somehow spiritually connect people, and then and see what happens. So I'm all about that. And then I meet you, and we're talking about being the bridge from like this unknown place to this business world where people are very much money focused and let's get this job done, and we're in the sales business and we got to get everything out there. However, if they're not doing well, then there's just something missing. And to me, the spirituality part is missing.
Yeah.
And when you get that little wheel of fortune that I love so much, that love and joy and money thing happening, and it starts spinning, it's like, whew, watch out. Like, how can you lose when you've got those three?
Yeah, because what does spirituality in business mean? What is it really? What does it mean being spiritual?
Being your authentic self.
It's being your authentic self. That's all it is. So when we're not saying change your religion, we're not saying change your beliefs, we're not saying you must suddenly now worship another deity. That's not what spirituality is. It's a term that we're using loosely, but it's a term that says a process of inner transformation to become your authentic self, to be more authentically you, to let your fears go. So, if you guys have a definition of spirituality in business, then please share it with us as well. We'll keep watching the screen. So, Amy, when you and by the way, congratulations, because you won the most views in your season 5. You also, because you were the only guest that ever repeated and had 2 shows, hold the record for the most viewed episodes on the Magenta show. She's like, really cool. But you had a major event happen on the second time you came on, and when we did your birth date and your name, color, numerology. You want to share with the audience?
I do want to share. And the main thing to understand is that it takes a village to, like, for everyone to actually get into their authentic self, or help them, drop those masks and stuff like that. So I was introduced to Color Mirrors like a couple years ago. And because I've been a designer, like a graphic artist for like 25 years, the color is just natural for me to gravitate to. And so I loved it all. And then to have the spirituality behind it is even cooler. And so I was on last year and bathed in a bunch of bottles and had some crazy experiences. And then back on in 2017 I was on. Yeah. And then 2018 I was on. And the difference between those times was just I took a practitioner's course with you, so I got more in tune with what's happening. But in November of 2018 in particular, we did a reading on the show, which I've never done before. I hadn't done my name, which was kind of weird. So I did the numerology and the color mirrors analysis on my name being Amy Barroso. And then Moira pointed out that, in fact, on Facebook, where I do most of my marketing, it's Amy Blankensop Barroso. My maiden name was jammed in the center there, right? Mostly because, you know, when you first go on Facebook, you want your friends from high school to find you, and that's like you got this giant long name. So yeah, here I am. So the frequency when someone says Amy Blankensop Barroso is much different than just Amy Barroso, and the colors turn out differently. So the first thing I did when I left the show was take that name out, say apologies to my dad, and make that happen. And immediately, like within 24 hours, had about 7 people calling me, where earlier I was trying to incorporate the colors into people's branding. So let's talk about your business. Let's talk about your products. Let's talk about what that looks like in color, so we can inject some of you into that. And there was no interest really, because I'm the only one, like the only designer who's sort of incorporating both of those things, right? So it was like, I felt like I was walking through mud to try and get some interest. Yeah. So immediately, you know, combined with the show, combined with the color, combined with the bath that I've done, combined like all of that stuff. So the bottles are as much part of my village as you and as all of you in this room. And then I also have a coach. Her name is Elvira Hopper. She's also very awesome. And
she's actually been a guest on our show.
Yeah.
When I was broadcasting under the 5G network,
Yeah, so we had a conversation, and I was like, you know, I just want to be the director of joy. Like, why can't that exist? And she's like, Amy, like, just make it happen. And I went, but nobody, there's no business out there that's going to hire me going, I'm the director of joy. Like, what does that even look like? And she's like, you're a kick-ass manifester. Like, make this shit happen. Beep. And so, you know, I love that conversation. And when I speak to you, when I speak to her, I have these great people in my life that just remind me how powerful I am. And so, after bathing and after speaking to Elvira, within, I'm going to say 2 weeks, 2 weeks, I had someone, her name is Natasha Bridgmahan, and I have a contract with her to be her director of joy.
And that's your official title?
Official, that's my title on my email is Director of Joy at the Bridge Group. Wow. And so when I proposed this option to Natasha, she's in the finance industry, they do investing, they do mortgages, they do all that stuff. It's amazing. So when I proposed the Director of Joy to her, she was like, interesting, because it's like PR and marketing and events. And at first when she was saying she needed that kind of person, I was like, oh, I don't know if that's really me. But on the way home, I was like, holy shit, like that's it. This is like, creating joy-filled events for people, creating the PR and getting her out in the world and getting her business out in the world and just allowing this joy to come into her office, because it's a financial industry, which she's a woman in finance, which is always an uphill struggle anyway. And then to now be the first one to say, I want my clients to feel so awesome. I've hired a director of joy and we're focusing on you is like magnificent.
It's revolutionary.
I want to be a director of joy.
I know. So do you? You are. So this is the thing, like even changing or shifting in your business, the titles that you choose for your people, for your team, it impacts how people see your business. And
but it's also interesting to note that Amy Blankensop Barroso did not attract that woman and that job, did not attract clients for your own business. And the minute you changed it, the frequency of who you are settled in, and boof, it just lit up around you and everybody could see you.
Well, Amy Blankensop Barroso wouldn't have even asked the question, all I want to be is a director of joy, how do I make that happen? It didn't have, that conversation didn't happen. So the ability to even see that I had that, to be able to open my mouth and go, this is what I really want, and then make it happen within a couple weeks. And then, you know, when I have conversations with people and they're like, what do you do? And I say, I'm the director of joy. It's like, what? Like, they actually do like a double take. So it's not just, you know, in our little office that's happening. It's the conversations I've had with event coordinators, like in banquet halls. I'm like, that's all you do. You work with brides and grooms and parties and bar mitzvahs and all of that stuff. Like, director of operations, like, seriously, that's no fun. So everyone that I meet, I'm like, it's your business. Create the titles that empower your staff, number one, and create titles that speak to your audience. Create titles that that send that vibe out to the world.
And that's authentically exactly what they're actually doing and who they are at the same time.
Yeah. So, you know, you gotta step into that as well, and be ready to show up when you ask for something like that. And it's scary to see that manifest so quickly. I was like,
you
whoa!
can. Well, this is the thing with color mirrors is the frequency. It's a frequency that speeds you up, because the more authentic you become, the higher your own personal frequency is. The more the law of attraction is going to come in. I just have to share, for anybody who doesn't know, Amy designed the cover and redesigned the cover of my book 8 Colors Prosperity, where I talk about working with specific colors to speed up the connection you have with the law of attraction to attract more of what you want. So if you are looking for somebody to help you with a book cover design, with some graphic design, with some branding, you want to contact Amy, because she really is absolutely brilliant. And it goes for any of you in you know, of the fabulous ladies that are here today. If you ever want to get it done, you just got to go, because Amy is like magic, you know. And she really, she, and the joy part of you is great too, because you do bring the joy out in
well, I have spent the last couple of years like just struggling to try and find what I try and put the joy in, but the receptivity of people in accepting what I'm putting out was kind of like
they don't resist you
they don't
anymore.
get it. No, they don't.
Now they
so
want,
now
they
I'm
want to know
just
how to
bringing
do it
in
for themselves.
those people that
Yeah.
are open to it. Like, I'm not doing designing for anyone who is not willing to do the soul color stuff. Like, you can't have your branding and then just go, oh, I like blue because it's blue. Like, you want to put something in there, and it creates like this really cool brand story for you. It's not like, oh, my designer picked the blue. Like, you are in there. Your business soul is in there. The date you started, the name of it, the product name, all of it is now infused in there like this little secret ninja weapon, right? I know. Look, see, like, you can do it as long as you take some of these things from your business, from your name, from any of it, and just sneak it in.
And I love how Amy also says soul business, because it's your soul, your date of birth is your soul code as to your soul purpose, what you've come here to do, and it resonates with numbers and colors, and that's what Amy does. Is she takes that information and becomes your brand story. So it's unique. There's no one else in the world who's actually doing this. I mean, this is incredible, and it's all based on Melissa Jolly's color mirror system. Melissa's amazing. We love Melissa. We love you, Melissa.
Who else is on here?
Oh goodness!
I'm still squinting a little bit. That's
Anne Webb, Sonia Davies, Jenny Hernandez. Jenny actually was one of the first people who studied with me when I came to Canada. Sherelle Colmenares, Gordon Ellison, Alicia Muse. Fabulous. Yvonne's joined us. Hello, Kulwati. Hello, Kulwati's from England. Also one of my students from England.
Marina George.
Yeah, we love Swapna. She's joined us. Yeah, we're sorry we're not here, Swapna. We'd have loved to have had you sit here with us powerful ladies. All right, so Laurie, let's have a little look. First of all, hold up, because you know Laurie has got this incredible game.
So what you're saying really resonated, because so much of how this game was created was definitely through lots of visualizations and what came to me through my healing and the game. There's a lot of healing in this game.
Best game ever. Best game.
You know it. You girls know it. If you don't, please talk to Laurie after the show about it. Okay, so what happened on the show? You came to tell the audience about your game.
Yeah, so I was just I had been piloting it for a couple months with 30 women, and I was having really positive results. So since then, I've trained 5 facilitators. So I have 5 Soul Adventure Guide facilitators who are certified to
Because that was
share
part
it.
of the reading. It was you said, well, what do I do with the business? And the advice given to you was you need to train others to do it. You need facilitators.
Yes.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, because you do a lot of deep healing over time, and that's what I found when I bathed in the bottle. Was there was a lot of releasing. So I can't say I had these beautiful, amazing experiences. Really, after I bathed in it 3 times, I had really rough days the next day, but I know it was all just releasing much old patterns and just generations of
this
of
is Satori, and both you and Maria, who's going to give us feedback later, bathed in Satori. A couple of other guests who couldn't make it to today's reunion show have also bathed in Satori. It tends to be the most popular one on the show, and what we know about the solid gold and magenta is that it does dig deep, because it, these are the colors that is the highest achievement you can have in as enlightenment, raising awareness of yourself, and upping your frequency so that you can be that authentic, because gold says you got to be authentically powerful and present,
and that was my whole beginning. First half of my life was not I was just a chameleon. I was who I thought others wanted me to be.
That's another name for the mask, is a chameleon.
Yeah.
Women know that well.
So just stepping into my own and creating something from my soul and figuring out who I am. And
so I kind of followed you a little bit on Facebook after the show. I kind of followed all of you. I'm sneaky, and because I wanted to get a sense of is the show making an impact, and is us introducing color mirrors in this way? Because face it, this is, I've been turning up every day, every Monday for a couple of years now, and I want to know, is it making an impact? So when you do bathe in a bottle and you use it, or I start watching you on Facebook and I have a look what happens, and I could even see in your personal life there was a shift. There was a more loving, kinder kind of feeling that was starting to come through from the posts you were making.
Absolutely.
And that was just my observation.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have been focusing on, being able to put myself out there and not feel insecure. So it's a lot easier to do that now, just to be able to put my who I really am out there and share what love and joy and support, and also understanding that I get where so many of us get stuck is in that low vibe, and because that's really what my mission is to help people to connect with who they really are deep inside, and put that person out there so that they can help others to do the same.
So you got 30 facilitators now working.
No, I have 5 facilitators.
5 facilitators.
I have hundreds of games sold already through myself and through the facilitators.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the plan? Are you going to get more facilitators now?
I'm absolutely open to getting more
So
facilitators.
please tell the audience, if they want to become a facilitator, what do they do?
Connect with me, connect with any of my facilitators, and I'm happy to have a conversation. But really, I would love for you to get your own game and start playing the Soul Adventure game, because that's what's the game
what
changer.
brings them in. Yeah.
That's what really changes, is when you start to play the game and you start to your truth really starts to get drawn out, and clarity starts to show up, and a whole lot of confirmation that your intuition is, your soul is trying to connect with you, and if we're not necessarily listening, it's going to come through the game as well as other ways. So it's really about aligning with who you really are,
and that inner voice, that spirit, that soul.
Yes.
And
bringing some play.
Here.
Yes, I'm one of my amazing. One of my amazing facilitators. She's been with me from the beginning, and I'm
so one of the 5 is actually here on the set, and it's Lynn. Well, Lynn. Okay, so do you want to? So let's just switch to Lynn and just ask her, what is it like being a facilitator of Laurie's program?
It's pretty amazing. I mean, being in the pilot and playing the game, I struggled with it because I didn't like what it was telling me. Like it was pinning me every day. And then I started playing with it at different times, saying no. So I played with that at night, and it was like, that's what your day was like. So wow, like the whole soul, and I have a problem with my heart coming for me, and it really,
because it's soul adventure. I mean, that's the
been
title.
amazing, and sharing that with people and watching them play it and see their journey on it is just. It hasn't been
great to get a tool to help you to help other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's fun. because you get like your own little pad that you write on, and the colors are beautiful. Like it's kind of like the bottle. I couldn't use the bottle because it was too pretty, but I didn't want to open. I told Lori I didn't want to open the cards for like the first 2 weeks because I didn't want to wreck them. But they're beautiful, and it is so much fun.
And that's what I like.
Yeah.
A big part of what it is to changing how we look at this personal development work. I like to call it play. It's like why if we can look at it as play and approach it as play, we are much more open to inspiration, to receiving information and what we need, because we're not in judgment.
That's right.
You know? So
And it's
Because
pretty. I just want it's incredible because you don't feel like, oh, I'm doing something, like I'm doing cards or whatever. It's like a game. It really is like a game, and it's for you, by you. So it's not like you're not taking direction. Oh, I pulled the wrong card, or oh, I don't know what I'm doing. It pulls whatever you are feeling or you're supposed to feel, or what you're supposed to hear from your soul that normally you'd let the buzzing. No, and it's all positive.
Yeah.
It does, nothing negative comes in. So it just it raises your vibration. And it stays with you. It is like there's
Testimonial,
nothing else like this in the world right now.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's brilliant. Well done, Lori. And
thank you, Lori.
What is so great about the bottle you bathed in, this is Satori, and it's the Zen Buddhist name for bliss and enlightenment. So this is about how can we be in a state of being enlightened. Enlightened means not carrying our fears around with us anymore. That's what enlightenment is, being more self-aware. And the bliss, of course, we all want bliss. And the bliss is what brings us happiness, joy, and all the financial stability that we want in our businesses. So well done for bathing in that one. I also just want to say something about the number 15. It's the magician.
Ooh. I totally align with alchemy and magicians. Like I would be the director of magic or something.
Well, Amy will tell you, created.
But I've already called myself the detective of the soul because I love figuring out the messages of what shows up in the meanings and the signs and all that. That just
it's incredible that we can start businesses, but we will listen to everybody in the outside telling us how to arrange the finances, the accounting systems, the sales strategies, the websites, the funnels, all the things that are there. But no one teaches us how do we listen to the voice of our soul, who actually sees everything and has all the answers to all our problems. So I love what you've created, and I think it's wonderful, and it's so nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Right. So let's just have a look at our audience again. Catherine has joined us, Vicky Harrison, Marie Christie, Stacey Gaskins, Dwayne has joined us. Hello, darling. So where we're at in the show right now is we've asked these fabulous powerhouse of 8 incredible women who have featured in season 4 and 5 to come and share their experience of what happened to them since they've been on the show, followed some of the advice, bathed in the bottles, and just generally where they're at. And they're here voluntary, and we got some. It's Amy's birthday, and we can have some cake afterwards and a bit of a party. So it's a very nice, relaxed atmosphere that we're in. Isn't that great? Yeah. Anybody nervous about being on the show again? It's gone, isn't it?
It's gone.
Yeah. We sprayed the Metatron bottle, and all nerves disappear. So anybody who's still coming on the show in the future, no, you won't have any nerves. We sprayed this little bottle in your hands, and it just calms you. It's like a drug.
A good one.
All right, and we're just asking you, the audience, what do you think about spirituality in business, and what does spirituality mean for you? And if you're happy to share it with us, we'd really love you to do that. So let's go over to Tara. Right, girl. Excuse my chair hoppling here. Where's your book? Because
I put it right behind me.
I got it. Okay. So when you came on the show, you didn't have a copy yet. You weren't there yet.
I didn't have it yet. It hadn't come out. And now it's out. And I'm so proud of this book. And so this is the new book as of December.
Congratulations, she's launched.
I've launched my book, Visible and Empowered. My top tips for living freely, fully, and on purpose.
That's beautiful. Wow. What has the response been to the book, Tara?
Everybody who has thus far read the book has raved about it. Absolutely. Anybody who I I wrote the book with people who have disabilities in mind, okay? And those who have read the book who don't have disabilities have all said, this applied to me equally.
Yeah.
This applies to everyone equally. And oh my God, I got so much out of this book. And I've had people come to me.
Where can people get hold of the book? How do they get hold of it?
Through my publisher, Freesome Press, through Amazon, or through me.
Through you. Can I just read something at the back of the book that
Absolutely.
when I got, this is my copy by the way, at the back it says Tara is 100% a guru. If you want to stay small and keep your excuses, stay away from her. If you want to live your dream life, dig into this book. I love that. And this is a very beautiful reference written by another one of our previous guests, James McNeil. We love James. And I just love that he's written that for you. I do think it's beautiful.
amazing.
And the other thing I like about your book is the nice big print. Can you guys see there? You really, you don't need your glasses on to read. This is amazing. You've really done that really well. So when you were on the show, what was it that that resonated for you in your episode with me? What was it that about our conversation that served you in some way?
I felt hopeful but stuck. It was a sense of feeling emerging but not quite clear. And I gained a lot of insight and clarity through our talk and through our episode. And
I do you know what I remember is you were the first guest who was dreadfully honest about what you wanted in life and what you had a problem with. A lot of guests will give you a fluffy version of, maybe where do I go, where do I do, and it's kind of like a hazy thing. You went straight to the point and you asked me, when do I start making money?
Yeah.
And it was so straightforward and so honest, and I loved it. And we did a reading based on that as well, and it came up with guidance. How do you get you to that place where finances can come to you and income? Yeah. So I loved that about the show.
Yeah.
I loved that about you. I loved your honesty there as well.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot has changed since.
Yeah. Well, one of the pieces of advice I think that came through the reading was for you to get a male mentor.
Yes.
Did that happen?
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Did it work out for you? Is
Yes.
it good?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
working out brilliantly.
Yeah.
I did a presentation at the CBC building in December. It was actually a competition. And out of 20 presenters, 10 of which took the stage in front of 450 people, I came in second.
Wow! Congratulations, girl. That's amazing.
So I'm launching a program to help individuals who find themselves unemployed. It's injured people who are injured to be retrained
So they can apply for work.
for work.
That's amazing. Terry, you're awesome. You just keep giving. She's just amazing, and your energy is so beautiful. You can just she just calms us all down.
That's the thing. I felt really uptight when I came to you the first time. I felt really anxious about my whole world, about everything, and now it's just I'm in flow.
Wow. Well, we're so proud of you as well. I love it because one day I'm going to look at all you women getting famous out there. I'm going to start with me on mine. Remember this moment. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And again, just please, darlings, you want to get hold of her book. It's amazing. And you can get it on Amazon and Friesen Press. It's spelled Friesen Press. Friesen Press. Thank you, my angel. Maria, our actress. actress. Ooh, she had us breathing. Well, what did we have to do before the show? And then, and of course it didn't work.
Before I start, can I say something about Tara? We are driving together. Now I'm driving. She's like keeping me company to some of the shows. And when she was working on that book and already was through the writing, we were driving to one of these Mondays, and I was like going through my writing, but I was kind of starting, and I asked her, "How was the writing for you?" And she said, "It's so liberating. It's something that is so like a cathartic." And then when I was going through my writing, each time, I think of Tara. Yes, she told me that. So thanks, Tara. You're welcome. Yeah.
So, girl, you were on the show in that very jacket that was so colorful. We loved it. She's worn it for us.
I love that jacket. Yeah. That's why I bought it. To connect. We're so many. They have to see who.
So you actually also took home the Satori.
Yes.
So same as Laurie. She also
I wanted to say something. That I believe in my experience with meeting you, seeing these bottles, all that strange colors. I believe that everything was as if putting together your input. You are magical. Mm-hmm. You know that you have magic power. Mm-hmm. The witch. Yeah. Going to another, talking with another witch. Yeah. And the transformation that I start feeling was at the moment we talk, we were giggling and all that, but all of a sudden you start talking to me. That when I pulled this bottle, I said, "Oh, you're going to your divine," and that went so deep in me for the need to hear that at my age, being through immigration, changing countries, changing professions, changing objective and values and so many things, I realized that I put my divine so behind me, so deep.
It wasn't a priority.
Yes, I was putting priority for my kids, being mother, for finding money for the bills to take care of that kids, or to take my husband to make him I don't know what, and then to realize that what is me?
Oh, I think all women get to a point where, and I think this is where the show is really useful.
Yes.
And the colors, because it brings you to that point, where is me?
Yeah.
Darlings out there, if you've ever had this question, where is me, you want to hear what Maria has to say next.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when we talk through the show, we talk about another business adventure that I had, about my acting classes. And that was kind of going, out. I came to this country as an actress. 1990, I was invited to the States as an actress. And only about 3-4 years later, I decided that, I have to put something else in priority. My kids, my family. So I completely turned out, from that acting, and I became a financial advisor. The CFP and CLFA, all that titles. And again, I was turning the acting, putting the acting into the financials. So I became a speaker and gave some seminars, but still, in finances, not acting. I haven't thought that I'll be able to go back. And I went through some of the, work on myself with some personal development programs a lot. And all I went to is acting classes, which was really good. I find it like, I can bring all my knowledge about acting to others. And even I was brought in front of people that are in their 80s and 90s, and they felt, we can do something with our body, with our voice, with our, our ability to act. And still I never thought of my acting. And during the show, I put it like, and maybe one day I can have a show, and, could be good. And you're talking to me about my divine, and if I go to this bathing, and if I put this on my body, I can go somehow to this divine and say, okay, I'm not bathing, I'm putting it like on my I'm keeping like one step at a time. And the very next thing happened is that I saw a little bug going out of his shell in my backyard. I realized it's a cicada, and I was looking for information. Was this bug going out of its shell? I realized that the bug lives under the ground for between 3 and 17 years. Wow. And I said, okay, this bug is next to my door, one like foot from my door, coming here. This bug should be over there on the tree, and it's not there, but it's here next to my door, going out of its shell. So going out from under, ground. Gosh, it's something. And I forgot about this. And maybe after the show, it was 9th of July, my show, on the 26th of July, I had a talk with somebody who I couldn't believe. I have chills. That was a director that worked with me in Bulgaria 35 years ago. And I talked with him, and he said, yeah, I'm coming to Canada, I'm going to direct, one of a group that we created. And tell me about, your life, and tell you about my life. And I said, well, I'm so happy for you, they are having kids and all that. And you know what, I always wanted to have a show. And he said, start writing. I said, okay, I'll start writing one day. And a month later, he is saying, oh, Maria has a project to do. What did you do with your writing? Nothing, I didn't. And he said, you didn't do it? Start writing. And on 26th or 28th of August, so it's what? Not more than, 7, 8, 9 weeks after this, I start writing. In about 100 days, I put like 100 pages of writing. He took that, he made it in a play. He came to Canada, so all in this 100 days, so between 26th of August and 2nd of December was my premiere with my show, The Song of the Cicadas.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Wow. And since then I played it 5 times.
Wow.
People are coming and crying, and they say, you're so brave to say your story in this way, and to say stories that touching us, and we feel that they people feel that they are going to their souls.
So you wrote the play, you star in the play, and you've been directed by a world famous director.
Exactly.
So do you feel you're now connected to your divine self?
I thought, what's going on? Is this true? Maybe it is. Obviously, it's my divine. And I told you when you asked me on the show how acting comes to your life, and I told you I know that I'm going to be an actor since I was like 8 years old, and so that is something that was in me. So it wasn't bad. It was deep hidden, like the cicadas. But under the ground.
And then it comes up. Maria, that's astonishing.
Yeah.
And also, just to say that Maria in season 4 had the most views. She people loved that show, and it was shared so many times. But you see, that's what Satori does. That magenta at the bottom of that bottle's fraction it's about connecting to your divine self and connecting to the divinity of the whole universe. And it reminds you to follow your passion, because if you follow your passion, that's when you feel your life is worth living. If you're just existing and surviving, at some point you burn out. It doesn't work.
And that was, I was realizing through my writing, and it was like really cathartic, that when I was writing my stories, they are stories from my life, but I was taking the morals, the lessons. I didn't want to start like, gossiping, Maria did that and that. No, I wanted somehow to see what is in my life that connect to the world, to stories of other women, and how this goes to our experience and what teaches us. And through all these teachings that I came through, I realized that in our days, in all this fast life, we are talking and we are thinking a lot about survival and money and doing things that are practical. Even at schools, you know, they are teaching kids what is the profession that you're going to do so you can make money for your family or for yourself.
So they don't go, what's your passion, joy, talent, and then see what career can you go into that will make.
There's no teaching to say what you're here for, what is your uniqueness, and we are all unique, and in some of our uniqueness we are strange for others. You know, how many people would come and say you're born for an actress? Usually nobody. They'll say you can be teacher, you can be computer and whatever. But when we realize what we are here for, this is the bigger joy.
Yes.
And that.
So if we just ask the amazing 8 women that are here, just very quickly, yes or no, do you know what your soul purpose is, Nelia?
Yes.
I do.
It's in progress. I'm getting it.
We'll talk afterwards.
Yes.
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 Kind of.
We'll talk afterwards. Yes.
Yeah. So I wonder how many of you out there in the audience who've been on this amazing hour-long journey with us on the show knows what your soul purpose is, and if you don't, do you know how to find out what it is? And yeah, this is why we put ourselves in the communities and in business the way we do, because we can help people find their purpose. We can definitely help you discover what it is that will make your soul sing. So we're going to move on. We've been going live for an hour, and if you've been with us, my husband's joined us. Wonderful group. We love you, darling. Thank you. We've invaded the house. It's full of women. You want to come home? So we had the wonderful gypsies on. Sarah and Lynn came on as the harmonious gypsies on the show, and that was in season 5. And do you want to just share what happened? And I'll just pass your bottles to you, because I know you each worked with a bottle as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
We're kind of similar to you ladies, because I went home and dived into the bath. I was super excited, and Lynn was like, "It's pretty."
It's so pretty. It's so pretty.
I did the same
I
thing.
was terrified.
I did try to even on vacation with mine and said, I'm going to do it in the hotel.
I
I
carried
didn't do
it
it
around
in the
with me everywhere, but I was terrified to actually use it.
Yeah, because 29 is a little bit of the spiritual Olympian athlete story, and it also brings up the inner child for healing and to clear the way to access that, what we were talking about with Maria, accessing that soul purpose, that divinity. So it's a lot of clearing that happens in 29. Yeah.
And you scared me a lot on the show.
I did!
You said a lot of things that I was like, what are it? No way.
I said good things. You thought they were. I was thinking, hold on.
Yeah. And it's funny that you talked about the first bath I did. I went in thinking, I've got to be thinking something. Always thinking about, I've got to be experiencing something. I'm not experiencing something. Okay, see ya. It's not going to work on me. And then the second one, I was a little bit better, but I was still thinking, okay, am I thinking it because you told me something on the show? Am I really a fraud inside? And then the third one, I put almost the whole bottle in, because I was like, if it's going to happen, it's happened. It's going to happen. And I don't like taking baths either, but I was able to calm. And I've had a really hard time envisioning my dream. It's always sort of been blurry, and it started to come like in more detail. And I've started to feel like, I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm still like, I don't know. It's still scary what stuff that you said to me, because I don't see myself as a healer or a teacher but
Yet.
I see it.
okay, yes.
We see it like
we do.
I see
See, I'm not the only one.
Sarah
We all
sees
do.
it.
But
just
I'm
met you and I
learning,
do.
and the healing part, the inner healing part, helping with Lori and Sarah, huge. Like it's the journey is. I feel like it's just beginning, and I know my purpose has something to do with love and helping people, and I just have to figure out how. With the Harmonious Gypsies, it's like just coming alive and being a facilitator, I'm just like, who are you? What's happening to you? But it's been amazing.
Yeah.
Scary, really scary.
Or exciting.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like she needs another dip in a bottle
I
for
do.
the next level. I think
Yeah.
you're ready for another one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And take it forward. Yeah, I've also been watching you on Facebook and watching the journey because I read energy, so I can see what happens. Energy. It doesn't matter what you write on your Facebook posts. You know, whatever you
feel
write
it.
is actually relevant. It's the energy that comes
behind
through what you've written and the photos you put up that tell me what progress you're actually making. And there has been a veil lifted off you. There was something dark and heavy when you were on the show,
Absolutely.
and I'm sure Sarah would talk a bit more about that. And that's lifted, but there's another layer to go through. So you're definitely in a process of very deep transformation.
And I've done a year of the gratitude posts, and I'm finding that they're really changing me too. Like I was afraid to be grateful. I was afraid to show gratitude.
Wow.
And now it's for me. It's all for me, but it's for everyone else.
Yeah.
Like it's not about, like what you were saying, it's not about me.
Right.
It's about everyone else, but the gratitude I'm getting from it.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Thank you, because this one, you know, I'm on a journey, but this is sort of like, now I have no choice.
No,
It's wonderful.
The magic
Yeah.
that I see is you tend to look out like, okay, what's my purpose? But you are being it. This is exactly your purpose. You're going through it on a personal level. And that's a huge part of your purpose of what you're going to share to other people. Right? It's through your experience. We can read things in a book, and I know I was like that. I was like, this person has no clue what they're talking about. But when you can sit with somebody and go, man, I can get that. I understand that, and connect with them. This is what this is about, is connection. And you really connect with people. So...
Harmonious
Agreed.
gypsies in action. So how was it for you, Sarah? You bathed in C7, which is the healer's bottle. Yeah.
C7. So when I came on the show, when we were on the show last, it was about merging everything. I felt like I'm an outside the box kind of gal, but I found myself boxing myself in certain areas of my life and really wanting to, okay, how do I get whole with everything that I love to do? I mean, I'm a practitioner, I love energy medicine, and I love helping people on that level, coaching, and then I'm like, I'm also the harmonious gypsy, hence the harmonious gypsies. And I'm like, how can I pull all this together and be myself in everything that I'm doing, everywhere that I am? And I started, a couple, and then it took me like 3 or 4
This
days.
is the boss lady. She will live in that if she could.
And ritual is important to me. Everything that I do, it has that ritual behind it. And so anyways, it was about stepping into my power and maintaining it in all areas. And that started shifting and happening. It was like, I actually got really sick. I don't get sick often, but I did get really sick. My whole household actually did. And again, clearing. I was like, this is all part of the clearing process. And I'm like, this is me. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be me and show up that way. And wherever I'm at, it's just been sparkly.
I love that.
And it's been really amazing to see, like in probably the last month or so, she's really claimed it. Like she is a gypsy. She lives a gypsy at work, at home. Her house is magical. She's magic. But this is not something she would normally wear, except for when she was at home or out. She now embraces all of it. She has found that power, and it's everywhere. Like it's not just the whole mask, the veil. It's like you know what? It's the last peeling of the.
You want to be. But from the show, what I remember with the two of you that I really enjoyed so much was there was some practical business advice as well, because you know the bottles very clearly can give you information about your divinity, your spirituality, mentoring, you know, the finances, but at the same time with the two of you, there was this how to work together as in a business partnership. And I remember we had a lovely conversation about that. And was that useful?
It has been very useful, because we actually
We got our Facebook.
we got our Facebook
page.
up. We put a
Go
product on to
Instagram.
test it, and
It's
we've got some great feedback. We've got a
Great.
lot of stuff coming up, and we kind of weren't expecting it. And yeah, the advice was to start planning, to start
And scheduling
and
time to
scheduling
meet.
time to
You're
meet.
meeting?
And we are. We have our
Right,
Magic
we're-
Fridays.
Good, they
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the door is open.
Yeah.
It's
Fantastic, thank you so
amazing.
much. Wow, all right. So thank you. I'm in. Okay, I'm in. I actually have in front of me a box of tissues because I thought I'm not going to hold it together today, but I've managed to. I'm very proud of myself. I think it's that breathing that you make me do, Maria, because I just want to say how deeply, deeply grateful I am that each one of you, magical 8 women that are on the set with me here, have taken the time to be here today and to come and share your stories, because what we're trying to achieve by bringing the spirituality into business, by bringing people's authentic power forward, helping them overcome their fears. This is my mission. This is what I'm here to do. I'm here to bridge, you know, being just in business or just being spiritual, and bringing the two worlds together. And if it wasn't for you coming on the show and our future guests and all the guests who have been on the show that I'm so grateful for, I wouldn't have the opportunity to showcase the energy of Calamares and showcase my business partner Melissa Jolly's life vision, which is for everybody to be in a state of joy and love. That is her vision. Is just live more in joy and be more in love. So from my heart, thank you. I want to thank you, my producers Shannon and Michael, for constantly turning up and supporting and arranging everything. You two are my darlings. I appreciate you deeply. And Melissa for gifting this planet, the Calamara system. We are ever, ever so grateful. So from us here, we want to say a wonderful thank you, and the audience that have been watching and giving comments. We're all going to go back and check the comments. If there's anything you want to know from any one of the guests here, please just contact us. You can do it through the Facebook, and we will respond to you. We love you, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Moira.
Thank you, Moira.
Yay!